All right, greetings. Thank you for joining us. Not sure if this is going to. Okay, looks like it's working. Okay, so I'm trying a different system. Maybe this will work. It might be a little bit darker in some regard. Whatever that's what it is. I'm trying something a little bit different. I'm trying to messing with it. I would have been here 15 minutes later, but anyway, something different. We'll see how this goes. At least it's going to Facebook. I wasn't sure if it was going to go to Facebook. So yeah, hopefully this will be the future. For a while, yeah, I was going to do it earlier, a test run on this. So this is it. But before I was using this streaming system before, but it was only going to YouTube and Twitter. It wasn't going to Facebook. I didn't even realize it. So anyway, here we are as the world implodes. As I don't think Ohio is a keyword yet, where they start flagging it. Yeah, that looks like that's like the hidden agenda of at least the moment. See, if you're wondering, where we're heading and all of that, it's like it's kind of like our 9/11, you can say. At least the fumes and all that seems to be agenda currently. There might be something else coming up. That at least at the moment, that's the agenda. It's like a sleeper manipulation, as you know. It should be on Rumble also. I guess I checked that. Yep. So yeah, I'm trying to do Rumble too. I had problems with it yesterday. Then again, maybe I wasn't having problems with it. Who knows? I'm trying to keep be on many different places. So all right, so going to Andromeda. I don't think I really tapped into them on one of the live streams for a while. So do Andromeda. It's 1 a.m. Maybe I was wondering. Weather is well, here it's 62 degrees, so don't get mad. And Jupiter and Venus. Apparently, Jupiter and Venus is going to be for sky watchers. That there's there are sky watchers without people are looking for more aliens than they are for our planets. But Jupiter and Venus' energy is getting closer to our for us to see, if that's your thing. And Gilgamesh, Nimrod, the Tower of Babel. So Gilgamesh, I don't know this for sure, but apparently that is Nimrod. Nimrod built the pyramids, the Tower of Babel. And I don't think I've done a Tower of Babel like forever. So something's in the air here too. Gee, I wonder why. I'm ready to sneeze, but anyway, maybe we'll survive. Looks like YouTube's doing a pretty good job on screwing my numbers. It's not nice. Yeah. So maybe the Andromeda energy will get some attention. I'm just in the backyard of YouTube, basically. Yeah, YouTube is something else. Anyway, not to go too deep into that. Of course, it's been a while since I've done this. It's been a while since I've used this. All right, so I'm talking to comment private sessions, scheduler. I have the shop here. It's slow. I'm catching up. I have the webinar this week, social network behind the scenes. Hopefully, all systems go. No messages about. So yeah, this is going to be if all systems go with this. This is the new format, at least for the looks, at least. It's a little more contrasting. Okay. Anyway, Yeah, it just feels like Ohio is, of course, they're suppressing it, assuming everything's fine over there. Well, I don't think it's going that far. But yeah, it just shows the true colors of our fine establishments running everything. So anyway, yeah, interesting with interesting. Uh, I didn't put this in the title. I was going to. With Andromeda, I get the energy, and I kind of buried this. I mean, I felt it, but I didn't like. I wasn't going to go into it because I've kind of done it already. Kind of beat it to death. Uh, I feel like cloning energy again, and I'm not looking for it. So it's kind of interesting with that frequency coming through. So, all right, 1 second. Just going to connect to the energies here. I'm just on another technical glitch there. So, I think everything's working now. All right, going to Andromeda. I guess the cloning frequency. I mean, in the higher dimensions, yeah, they can clone pretty much anything. Like I say, higher dimensions, it's just energy. Doesn't mean it's going to be an exact copy, but it's very frequent. And then, of course, here in the physical, we're seeing a lot of that. But kind of beat that to death a little bit. But anyway, so we're going to Andromeda, Jupiter and Venus, and Gilgamesh. Yeah. All right, blessings. Here we go. Greetings. We have consciousness of Andromeda. Yes, many of you are connected to our energies. Many of you are, yes, there's a lot of discomfort here in the physical realm. But that's why you're here, to bring some comfort to the physical world, the physical mind, for the mind to calm itself. Basically, and the Andromedans are finding out that they have a lot of lessons to learn about themselves. That's why many of them are here. Of the darkness within. So yes, you can connect to the higher dimensions. You can live all these nice paradise lifetimes. But there is a darkness you need to know about yourself, the shadow, to balance it more than clear it, to know it, to get to know yourself. Doesn't mean you have to go out and commit crimes, but some need to do that. It's basically, yeah, to and for the repercussions of that, the consequences. So yes, a lot of your criminal minds do come from Andromeda, and it doesn't mean that, well, it's different levels of it, of discovering more of yourself. Like I said, we're not there to inspire these things, but these actions, but because some do commit crimes to be caught. And that's the point, because if you don't get caught, just keep doing it. So it just to see what you're capable of. There's probably more to it than that, but that's one of the reasons for it. And many of you are just, those of you who have Andromedan connections, yes, some are completely blocked here, yes. Well, because they're so used to the higher frequencies, they're really confused here. There's a lot of souls, they come into the physical and they don't know what to believe. Sometimes they just believe anything. Oh, that sounds nice. But they don't really know because the physical realm, they're just not used to it. It's kind of like riding a bike. You have to kind of get used to the environment that you're in. That there's bumps, there's, you can get scratched up. I mean, in the physical, it's just not seen as that. As a human, you're not really taught how to be a human. You're taught the manipulations of it, but you're not taught how to avoid the manipulations that are coming from everywhere. Because they fear, because you don't remember anything when you come here. So that's why you come here often, to you can say conquer this lifetime, you can say, to master it to a certain level. Yes, you can say it's kind of like a game. It's a game where you can also lose yourself, lose your soul. There's so much to it. But if you look at it from a game perspective, you don't have to look at it that way. But if you look at it from, it's like when you're in the higher dimensions and you hear other beings talking about their earth lifetimes and how their accomplishments, some alien beings feel like, wow, I should do the same thing. And then they come here and they get their ass kicked. Of course, you're not the only ones, but they don't always realize what they're going through. Because, here on this world is wealth that is seen as the life, but it's really what you're going through, that you survive what you went through. Because if you always have it easy in life, what's that? Well, that also prepares you for a lifetime of nothing but challenges. Of course, those that are wealthy create a lot of their own challenges and just create problems for themselves. Of course, many do that, but some of the wealthy really create a lot because they need something to do here. They have the financial side figured out, but now they have to go into themselves. And yes, also there's a lot of dark entities that are wealthy here, as some of you might notice. Yes, the lower realms knows how to play this reality. Also, a lot of them are drug dealers or junkies. A lot of them are drug dealers. This is their turf. And you're walking in on their turf, and it's good to get an idea where you got yourself into. So you're slowly learning what type of world you're on. Many still have not figured it out. And without going into full detail of that. So there's different Andromedan ways of looking at reality. It's just there's some Andromedans, even in Andromeda, that live on a whole nother perspective of reality. A delusional reality. It's same as here. It's just there you can see it more clearly. They're believing their delusions. They come here. Many alien beings are lost, no matter what star system they're in, and they figure, they can figure themselves out here. And so it adds more to the confusion here. So many souls have been through war as a galactic being. They have so many wounds. And they can't heal them in the higher dimensions. Some feel like you can. That's not always the case. It's like you might be able to heal some parts of it, but sometimes it's better to go back to the scene of the crime. Where, it's like when you go into a meditation, you go into your darkness to heal it. We go back to the world or the beings that cause you difficulty to face it, to overcome your fears and move to the next level. So basically, you can be on a planet in Andromeda and deal with this type of negativity from this planet, which many of you don't remember, but eventually you'll start to trigger those memories. And so your perfect life can get altered, shattered, whatever it might be, and you're trying to heal it in higher dimensions, but you're still kind of lost. So you come back to a world like this where that negativity, one of the places where it came from, not entirely the origins of it, but it's a familiarity. So basically you see it, you release it, you improve, you just become better. And you'd be surprised how many are actually improving here and don't even know it. They really have no idea. So we just send the energy out to you. It's somewhat complicated for some to tap into this. Some of probably don't know what we're talking about. Others, it's just it's a road. It's a long road to your destiny. Greetings to you. We are the consciousness of Jupiter and Venus combined. Yes, there is some Mars there, but Basically, our world is a framework of yours, as some of you have some idea of that. Basically, to continue your incarnation here, to lighten it up if you want to be. It's just that the dense, basically, a lot of the lower dimensional beings here, the demonic energies, to some level want to be healed. They might not admit that. Some are just holding, demonic beings are just holding on to the lower realms forever. And they're just never going to change. But you come here basically to find yourself, be challenged here by beings that have so much power here over reality. Yeah, there are beings here. Some are common matrix people. You call them NPC people. Some are demonic beings, and they have more power than most. I mean, they think it, and it happens. And that's very frustrating for many of you being here. It's like, I think it, nothing happens. My manifesting doesn't even exist. While others here can manifest anything. Yes, it's kind of like an insult almost. But this is what you're here to unravel. Sometimes you have to keep being hit by these situations to start seeing it. Well, you're seeing the framework of your reality, of the world itself. Basically, you come here, one of the reasons, to really map out for others what kind of world they incarnate is, because I don't believe many realize what they got themselves into. Yes, they might say a chaotic world is insane, but really, what is the root of it all? Yes, they're trying to get to certain levels of it, but you can eventually see its map, how it was all put together. You're kind of learning that to a certain level. Do you really need that? Some do. We're here to, because you reveal how this world works, it can't work anymore. I mean, it can't do these things anymore. It can't manipulate society anymore. Obviously, you're not quite there yet, but you're working toward. Well, basically, you give others, the individuals, a way out. It's like you open up a door of that you don't so your reality is a little bit more clear. Let's put it that way. While others, like, I don't trust that. I'm just going to stay in a land of chaos, which is fine. There's no wrong to it. But some of you obviously want some kind of relief, and you are working towards it. Doesn't mean you have to know all the details of this world. It's not necessary. But some of you are here to reveal a great deal here. That's what this is all about. People might not. Yeah, because there is a savior mentality here on the planet. That's the idea. You're looking for a hero to fly down and save everybody. When in truth, you're kind of going into the dirt and discovering how this world was even constructed. And that is in the lower realms. Doesn't mean you have to go into the lower realms, but it depends on how strong you are also. Well, basically, you connect to a convoluted way of how this world is put together. Put it out to the world and let them decide if that's what they think is real. But it's basically unreal, bringing some of the secrets here so you can evolve quicker, easier. They can avoid conflict here. And if the world's going to be chaotic, you're here to assist to a certain level, but you don't have to get pulled into it. And basically, the trickster beings can't win anymore. And the tricksters are just, every individual has some kind of trickster being around. Doesn't mean that the tricksters are working. They might be around trying, because that's their job, is to get you confused. And most people aren't aware that even exists. Even those that are spiritually developing, they have no idea of what's really. If they really knew what was around them, it'd be hard for them to sleep, and you don't have to think about all the details of it. But basically, for Jupiter and Venus, is basically helping you realize what kind of reality you're really in. Now, some of you have some idea. There's only so far you need to go, but it can get quite deep, as some of you know. As your average person doesn't want to hear it. Can they handle it? Not likely. because it's a life-changing experience. Some of you have already been through it. You've already been here enough. The reason why I incarnate here so many times is to basically to get into the grit of it, to unravel it. It's not just to torture yourself. No, well, it is to see the torturings of it, to see how it works, to unlock a lot of these miseries that have been planted here. Yes, for humans to basically better to defend themselves here. How can you defend yourself if you don't know what you're fighting? And most don't realize what they're fighting. It's all kept secret for obvious reasons. There's a system here that wants to flaunt the money around and all that, of course, to hide the physical, the physical facade. There's nothing wrong with the physical realm. No, it just the way this is being used. There's physicality. There is a lot of positive sides to it. It's just it's being weaponized here. It's just it's the push, materialism, fakeness to your own persona. Like people are two people. You're one person in private, another person in public. The idea is to be yourself. Anywhere you go, you can't always do that here. So that's the system here to bring confusion. You're here to clear out the confusion, as you know. Brings this is Gilgamesh, Nimrod, the Tower of Babel. You can say Babel, the Tower of Babel has so many. It's basically life itself. What humanity has to go through to basically find itself again. It's basically showing, where society, where human achievement can go. Obviously, you don't see a Tower of Babel. You see skyscrapers, but still it doesn't have the same frequency. It's basically showing that you can do anything here, and you're reconnecting that to a certain level. It's basically human achievement has been blocked, and you're here to bring that back. Yes, there is a government manipulation, of course. Of course. Well, they're hiding behind the curtain. They don't want to show themselves, and they don't really have anything to themselves, really. They know that, though they are connected to some of the priesthoods of your past, basically your ancient religions, obviously your secret society. But secret society is more like an ancient religion, basically. It doesn't want to be known. And there's also a druid connection there too. Doesn't mean all the druids are bad or anything like that, but there is a druid connection. Basically put spells on society to hide the weak, which is actually a lot of your controllers of this society. A lot of them are just completely, they know they're frail, weak, ignorant, arrogant. They don't care. It's just, and they know that but in your incarnation here, you are getting stronger by being here. That's one of the reasons why you incarnate here at all. Is basically to help this world free itself, but in your own way. It's live your life to its highest potential. What you're here to unlock is going outside your comfort zone when the time is right. There's this comfort zone times when your passion, your heart says you need to do something, and you've been questioning it and it just won't go away. Most likely it means that this is time for a change. So for Babylon to be rebuilt one day, it will be probably more in the fourth dimensional aspect of it. It's just basically like you've won, you've accomplished what you're here to accomplish on a worldwide level. Obviously, not many things are being built as it used to be for obvious reasons. And it's just like creation itself has been downgraded for a reason. as many of you become more spiritually connected. Not that you're trying to weaponize it, but that is the weapon. You are fighting against this. You might not be aware of what you're doing, but you are going against the system. It does not like it. That's those that are becoming more spiritual are getting stronger. You might not know what you're doing yet. Many have no idea what they're doing, but they know they're going in the right direction. Yes, but they might be misguided. There's a lot of that. There's a lot of materialism that has to be healed during Babylon. I can say that's what destroyed Babylon was materialism. But it's also that was the time to go more into the physical realm. And yes, you're going the spiritual realms where you're unlocking. It's what's necessary. A lot of souls here have to learn their darkness, as you can see. Not here to take that away from them, but many have. It's such a soul journey here. And you're here to bring eventually more enlightenment to yourself, which will also be shared to others. But then, many of you want to get wealth and then share it with others, but are people deserving of it? Will they use it wisely? Will it make things worse? A lot of times it'll make it worse. You wonder why certain information is not brought out. It's like you bring this information will make people worse here. Will make the situation even more complicated. That's why a lot of hidden knowledge is not being released. As you know, many can't handle it. They want all this knowledge, but they don't realize the deeper energy here it's extremely intense, as some of you know, and it's powerful energy you're here to tap into. And how many are really ready for that? They're just getting their egos filled up. Oh, I have all the knowledge. I know this. Like, you don't know anything. That's not how it works.